What's up? This is Trevor Phipps from the band Unearth. I want you to put your horns up, man.
The beast has been unleashed here at the Mayhem Fest. Joshua took for Horns Out Rocks, and man, I was just telling you, your new record, it's addictive. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. So tell us how the recording process for that record went compared to your previous records.
Yeah, this one was a little different. We didn't have a drummer at the time of the writing and recording process, so we hired Mr. Justin Foley from Killswitch Engage to take up drum duties. Basically, when we wrote it, me and Ken would, Ken would program the drums. He would make his demos. I'd come over to his house, throw riffs at him, and he would program the drums for me. And once we got all the arrangements done and everything, worked out, we sent, all the songs to Justin. Told him to put his stink on it. He humaned it up a bit and just made it really intense. Like we told him, look, guitar players don't always make the best drum beats, so you do what you do. And he nailed it. And I think that one of the things that makes this record special is the drum spin that's on it.
But I think this one, it's furthering our sound. It's it's more dynamic than our last couple records, and it's got a lot to offer. It's heavy. It's got melodic parts. It's got great guitar work. I think the whole band brought their A game.
Let me ask you something. How did you guys establish your signature sound? Because since you guys started, there's never been a question that isn't a Nerd song. So what you think really worked in your favor when it came down to establishing your sound?
Just our influences. The band started when we were all about 20 years old, and we just wanted to unleash something new. Just combine different elements of metal and hardcore and create our own sound, our own blend, of a mix of heavy music. There's a big Maiden influence with the guitars. Vision of Disorder, Earth Crisis, Hatebreed, Pantera, Testament, a whole gamut of stuff that we all grew up listening to, and that's where we dig to get our inspiration. So the bands that we actually grew up listening to. There's some newer bands that we might look to once in a while to get inspired, but the core bands that we grew up with are the ones that really are the ones that influence us mostly. From
the show thus far, because we're around midway through Mayhem Fest, which one has the best show so far?
Best show so far might have been Mountain View, which is the Bay Area of California. That show was really good. They're all great. Even the ones that have maybe a slightly smaller turnout are still awesome, because the people who come to these shows, I don't know, maybe it's one of a few shows they go to a year, or maybe they took the day off of work, but they're in party mode and they come out to have a good time. So any time you play a festival like this, people always go bananas.
They've all been really, really damn good. I know Phoenix was awesome. That was a pretty stellar one. Yesterday Montreal was sick. That's probably the biggest one, but it wasn't the traditional Mayhem Fest. It was a bigger festival because they brought in other bands as well, so that's why it was bigger. It's 30,000 people, something crazy. These have been between 15 and 20, but the second stages, we get between 5 and 10 that come out early. So every day is great. Phoenix might be the highlight so far, but Denver was stellar too, actually. But they're all great, so.
Yeah, that's a hard question, because especially because you guys always bring the party wherever you go. You know what I mean? You had never go into a show kind of doubting yourself. Since day one, that's what everybody kind of commented about when Unearth came out. Is dude, those guys live are just dynamite.
You have to have fun. Actually, we start the set, the intro rolls, and we all walk out, and Buzz actually goes center stage, and he shotguns a beer immediately before we even start playing, and then throws the can out, and I come out with the beer, throw it out there, and it's just us trying to tell people we're here to party. Let's fucking party together. We have 30 minutes. Let's just have a good time. And that's what it's all about. The songs are serious, like I've said before, but the stage show should be fun. People are there to have a good time, and that's what we're here to do too.
Have a good time all the time, I guess, is our credo. We just, get up there and try to convey the feelings that we have on stage of just having a good time to the people who are at the show.
Let me ask you something. After the European tour, what's the plan? Are you guys going to South America, or it's still an agenda mode?
Probably sometime in 2012. After this, we got Australia, Japan. We're doing some Pacific Rim stuff like China. But next year, that we're talking about doing that, because we've been there once and it was amazing, and we've been wanting to go back ever since.
Now, let me ask you something. When you guys got started, did you ever expect the success you've reached so far?
No, it's a great opportunities. We're just lucky to be here, just to get on tours like this and have our opportunities to do it. But yeah, I never really expected anything like that to happen. We just wanted to play a show with Earth Crisis and All Out War. That's all we wanted to do back then.
And from all the shows you have done this year and in the past, what is the craziest story you have?
In Europe, a guy parachuted into the pit.
During your set?
Into a circle pit, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. And that's, you know, like every crowd is so different, but it's kind of crazy how like in South America and Europe, you get people that are just like going crazy no matter who comes to town.
Diehards, man. The people like, you know, people go out there and give it their all. The young kids, I'm too old, but I try to do it on stage, but I can't get in the pit and do it up like that. But I mean, kudos to those people who come out and like really represent for their bands and show support, you know.
What do you think has been the formula for success for Mayhem Fest to keep doing it strong year after year?
They run the fest really well. You know, I mean, we did 2 Oz Fests, which were great. We did 1 Sounds Underground, which is also very good. This one, very similar vibe. One thing for the bands that they do, which is really cool, is on off nights, when there's a day off after a Mayhem Fest, they throw a metal mixer. And it's always a themed party. A band gets to pick the theme. And we got to pick ours in Denver. And it was an Edward 40's Hands party. You know, that game, where you tape 40s to your hands, and you can't do anything. You can't piss or anything before you're done, or you give up. And so that was fun. We had a bunch of people coming out doing that. It wasn't mandatory, but a lot of people, you know, took part in it, and it was fun.
I guess just a good collection of bands. You got, you know, the solidified, you know, headliners, and then you got like up-and-coming hot bands who, like, you know, people are buzzing about. So yeah, I mean, they pick the bands well, and they make it a good time for the people who come out.
There's one missing guy this year who passed away recently is Mario from Liquid Metal.
Yep.
And I mean, I know especially with Unearth, he was a big supporter since day one, throwing on Liquid Metal.
Yeah.
And what do you think is always going to be that memory for Mario? What makes the dude so special?
He was a great DJ, and he loved to support the underground. You know what I mean? Like, that was what he set out to do. You know what I mean? He really did help out the underground a lot, and he spoke highly of it. Or even with his college days too, you know. So he was a big supporter of it and really helped out. And he played himself too, you know. So he's also a player, you know. He's a musician and a big supporter of it. And that I think the entire metal world will miss him for sure.
So yeah, I can say this entire broadcast is dedicated to Mario, all the people from Norway, and probably the entire Mayhem Fest, you know, because it's hard times and it's people like you and I coming together to like share the joy while we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man.
And guys, definitely check the new Unearth record. Trevor, I want to thank you, man.
Thank you very
much. Good luck on the road. Everything, hope keeps going good for you guys, because you guys are hardworking, dedicated guys, and I respect and appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.